And if I told you once, I ain't gonna tell you twice. Salute all my real ones. Yeah! Look, man, we got if there's rings around the moon, get indoors. I don't know what this means. I don't know if God put a ring on it and, you know what I'm saying, they're about to have a party, or if there's rings around it, that means the aliens is coming and they want to smoke with us like Independence Day. Because if they do, then if they saw the movie, they realize that they got packed up quickly. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if we need Will Smith this time. But anyway, before we get into the video, man, like button, subscribe button, notification bell, press those. Let's go.
Hey, you're running through a vast field at night, as if something is chasing you right now. The light of the full moon brightens your path, and you see a circle of light around it. You run on, looking for a safe shelter. It's not about werewolves, who are said to appear when the moon is full. Soon, this place will be the
That's a weak-looking ass werewolf. This dude right here, I actually know him. Like, he be on the block selling broken computers and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? He be having them like 2 for $5 on the milk crates. Slap this shit.
Not about werewolves, who are said to appear when the moon is full. Soon, this place will be the epicenter of a major storm. This very circle around the moon is called a halo, and ice crystals cause it in the sky. When the moon is full, it reflects a lot of sunlight. These rays then pass to the Earth's surface, but they curve their trajectory and split as they pass through hexagonal ice crystals. As a result, we have a halo of different colors, almost like a rainbow. The inner edge of the halo is red and the outer edge is blue. It looks beautiful, but the presence of ice in the clouds means this ice will soon turn into water and begin to fall to the ground. And this rain will be so heavy that you'd better find a shelter beforehand. If the weather is quite warm and the clouds are closer to the ground, you might see a similar phenomenon, a corona. It's much smaller than a halo, but much more colorful. The bluish-white disk on the inside turns brownish-red on the outside. Unlike halo, the corona is made of water droplets. The smaller these drops are, the larger the corona will be. If the water droplets are large, the corona will look like a bright spot the size of the moon itself. Both the corona and halo might also occur during the day when the sun is shining. But be sure to wear sunglasses before just glancing at it, because it's very bright and really bad for your eyes. As soon as you find a shelter, it starts raining heavily. Whoa, what is that? Are you being photographed? No, the flash you just saw is lightning. Bam! Thunder is so strong, the windows in the house start to shake. Here's a tip on how to tell if you're far away from the epicenter of a thunderstorm. When you see lightning, start counting. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3, and so on. When you hear the thunder, stop counting. Now, you have to divide that number by 5. If you can count to 5, it means the epicenter of the thunderstorm is 1 mile away. If you didn't find a shelter before the thunderstorm started and it caught you in the open, leave the high ground immediately. Any mountain or hill is a high-risk area. Don't even think about hiding under a tree. Tall objects are the first target for lightning. Power poles are also at risk. If a thunderstorm catches you riding a bike, drop it immediately and run away. Same if you were riding in a convertible, golf cart, or motorcycle. If a thunderstorm started while you were in an open field, the tallest object here is you. Get down and try to cover yourself somehow. If you're not alone, try to keep your distance from each other. Whew! Now, let's admire the beautiful sunrise.
I won't lie, like I got struck by lightning like 14 times in my life, and every time the lightning was like, yo, I apologize. Like literally it turned into a person and apologized. You know what I'm saying? Lightning don't want no smoke with me. I get struck by lightning and like I could just like put it in my pocket and just let it off when I'm, you know what I'm saying, doing something else down the road. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm superhuman because I'm not, but I'm just saying like lightning don't want no smoke with me.
It looks like someone spilled red paint on the sky. This beautiful view means it's about to start raining. You can see a red sky at sunrise because the high pressure zone has just passed you by and is now followed by a low pressure zone with high water content in the air. So take an umbrella with you or go back to a warm bed and stay indoors. There's an old saying to keep it all straight. Red sky in the morning, sailor take warning. Red sky at night, sailor's delight. Sometimes you can even predict rain by smelling it. It's all about ozone.
Actually, you can, cause like you get that humid like that humid. There is a smell to rain, like, and it's crazy because, like, you know how old people be like, yeah, I know it's gonna rain every time my knees start hurting, blah blah blah. There's actually science behind that. Like, the pressure drops, and if you've had injuries, to certain parts of your body, the lack of pressure winds up affecting those injuries, and you can actually feel it. So a lot of the times when people talk about like, yo, their knees hurt or their elbows or their hands hurt before it actually rains, there's actually science behind that shit. I ain't even know that until I know it, and now I know that I know it. You know it because I know it, and I'm letting you know that I know it, and you know it now too.
Molecules. Storm currents bring ozone down from the upper atmosphere, and when the storm is about to start, you can smell a sense of cleanliness. It's like you just washed the floor with clean water. Your sense of smell gets more sensitive before it starts to rain. It's not because of your nose, but because of the more humid air. Flowers spray their scent, and the water molecules stick to it, spreading it much better. That's why the same flowers smell different when you smell them outside or in a closed, humid greenhouse. Plants can also help you predict changes in weather. If you touch the grass in the morning and it's wet, it means it's going to be a clear day. That morning water on the grass is dew. It appears at the coldest time of night. Clear skies allow the earth to cool a bit, and the water vapor molecules in the air turn into a liquid that settles on various surfaces. Take a closer look at the leaves on the trees. Sometimes they can be upside down. For example, maple leaves respond well to increased humidity before the rain. Their stems become very soft, and the wind can turn them upside down. But the best indicator is pine cones. The seeds are inside the cone, just under its scales. The pine needs to keep them as dry as possible so that the wind can carry the seeds far away and new trees can emerge from them. So, when the pine senses rain approaching, it gives the order to close the cones. Then the scales close, protecting the seeds from the water. And instead of boring weather forecast hosts, you can just follow the animals and insects. Have you heard the crickets chirp? That will be your thermometer for today. Set the timer for 15 seconds and count how many times crickets chirp. Add 37 to that number and you get the outdoor temperature value in Fahrenheit degrees. All because air temperature directly affects crickets' metabolism. It can chirp slower and faster depending on how warm it is. So throw away your thermometer and get yourself a little friend. Now, if you
Or I could just get a digital thermometer from Amazon for like $5, hang it up on the wall, and instead of waiting for some bum ass cricket to shake whatever the hell it is that causes the goddamn noise, and for me to count it with a stopwatch, I could just look and see it digitally. Or I could just pull out my iPhone and just see it on the phone. But the reason why I said buy it on Amazon and get because like the temperature outside doesn't mean that it's the temperature in your crib.
If you don't like insects, look up into the sky for birds. If they're flying high, it'll be a clear and sunny day.
I see birds in the street all the time.
But before it rains, air pressure
Whenever they try to talk to me, I'm like, yo, cool. Like, I don't want to be seen interacting with you.
Prevents birds from flying high. You may see them flying in flocks very low, most likely looking for shelter. So even if the sky is clear,
Then they get pregnant in one half.
air pressure tells you that rain is coming. If you live near a river or lake, you can hear toads singing, although you can't quite make out the lyrics because it's in toad. They are especially loud before it rains hard. Toads, in general, love wet weather, so they just get excited. Rain is also the best time for females to lay eggs, so they scream loudly in search of a guy to wed. Ow! A mosquito has just bitten you. If mosquitoes are being especially aggressive, you better find a shelter fast. The insects are just trying to eat more before they have to starve during the storm. Also, the warm, humid air makes us sweat more, and we become even more attractive.
Yo, when I rise to power, I'm banning mosquitoes. Yes, I know I said that I'm banning. How am I going to ban a species of insect? I don't know, but I'm banning mosquitoes from the face of the earth.
To mosquitoes. Insects also gather in swarms before a thunderstorm. They love the moisture in the air and start circling in a dance. But then they vanish into thin air. It means you have 1 hour left before heavy rain starts. To predict the weather for the next day, you need to watch the bees. If it rains tomorrow, the bees work overtime. They're pollinating flowers actively because they know they won't be able to leave the hive the next day because of the rain. Squirrels can predict the weather for the whole season. They usually stock up on food for the cold times. And if they start doing it early, it's going to be a tough winter. You can see squirrels running around looking for acorns. They hide them in the ground and run to find the next one. The squirrels often forget where they hid their food. These acorns turn into little sprouts, so we have many new trees, all thanks to squirrels. Animals can also predict disasters like earthquakes. Scientists once did.
I mean, in the movies, they always show that the birds fly away before the robot from day after the day the Earth stood still comes through, or when there's like an apocalypse about to happen. Like, now, meanwhile, I'm just gonna stand there and be like, all right, let apocalypse come through. I'm gonna smack the shit out of it.
A study in an area with frequent earthquakes in Europe. They put trackers on cows, dogs, and sheep. About 18,000 earthquakes occurred there during that time. Most of them were insignificant, but there were also 12 with a magnitude of 4 on the Richter scale. And each time, before the earthquakes, researchers recorded strange animal behavior. It was as if they were trying to escape from the earthquake zone. Scientists believe animals can sense the ionization of the air before a disaster with their fur. Their good sense of smell also allows them to smell gas. It comes from moving deep underground and then trying to find its way out through small cracks in the surface. The first records of such animal behavior date back to ancient Greece. Cats, rats, snakes, and centipedes left their homes and fled to safety days before a major earthquake hit Greece. Some fish can predict the weather in the area. If sharks hang out near the shore, they're not necessarily looking for food. They may be hiding from a big storm at sea. The worst sign on the coastline is when all the water starts to go back abruptly. You can see the entire shoreline and even the fish and coral that are left on the land. Run away immediately, because soon a huge tsunami wave will come here and wash everything away.
Right, including you. Nah, that's crazy though. But I don't see how much of this video had anything to do with rings around the moon. But then again, maybe I'm just a doofus and I didn't understand it all. I don't know. But anyway, let me know if y'all like the video, man. Leave a comment in the comment section. My name is Rain. Catch you on the flip side. RCP salute. Dab on them.